We've had a rough patch in software engineering in recent year or so. We've got 370,000 people being laid off according to layoffs, FYI. And according to Indeed, the amount of available jobs in tech sector shrinked by 10%. I know from myself and from other companies, hiring is not as it was before. A lot of places frozen hiring or do this only when necessary to backfill role. And to be honest, that's how it should be. Because if we like it or not, the bubble has bursted. So what the heck have happened? We were heading this way for a while now. For at least a decade, the requirement for you to be hired as a developer was to, one, have a pulse, and two, know basics of programming language. That was the criteria to start a job everywhere, because companies were throwing the money on the problem, because developers were cheap and the value was there. Either you were VC funded or it was profitable company, it was always easy to just hire more people. This driven the bubble. And then 2019, December 2020 happened with our pandemic. With COVID hitting all the markets very hard and people losing jobs all across the board, in retail, hospitality being hit the most. But then government, to stop the crisis, printed a lot of money, pumped billions and trillions of pounds and dollars into the markets to stop them from crashing. In the same time, tech industry went on rampage. The bubble was already there and became even worse because technology became mandatory for people working from home, for people looking for jobs, for people being bored at home because they couldn't go to their favorite restaurant or see a movie in the cinema. This meant that tech industry boomed even more, hired even more people to deliver even more, to make more money during the COVID. But those kind of actions have consequences. And those consequences are usually called inflation. If you're pumping a lot of artificial money into the market and people will have a lot more money, the market will react with rising prices. And then we've got Putin attacking Ukraine, which this, on top of inflation caused by COVID, raised the prices of energy worldwide. And one thing we know about energy, you cannot do heck without energy. So increasing price of energy is like snowball affecting everything and everybody equally. And now we have inflation, we have raising prices and businesses who overhired a lot. As I said at the beginning of the video, 370,000 people were laid off in last year or so. Compared to 27 million estimated population of people working in software engineering, it gives us whopping 1.3% people losing their jobs. And on top of that, we have AI. AI wasn't, to be clear, AI wasn't responsible for any of those layoffs. AI came at the same time, but no company was fast and nimble enough to implement it yet. And the current state of AI isn't as great as the trillion of startups created in the last 24 hours want you to believe. But we don't want to talk about AI today. We want to talk about the market and what can you do in this situation, as it affects every one of us equally. Make sure you have some savings for a month or two, it doesn't matter. Make sure you're saving some money on the side, that in the worst case scenario, you have time to find another job. This will give you a lot of peace, because you won't need to worry about paying rent and paying your bills in case something happens. You don't need to worry anymore about being laid off, because you can survive 3 months, and in 3 months you can find another job for sure. And speaking of finding a new job, let's talk about how market sees you as a potential employee. Let's put it this way. You are the hiring manager, and you have to choose between two developers. One, good developer, but nothing super special. They are doing their job, they are great at it. That's it. And then you have second one, who is the same great developer, let's for the sake of argument, with exactly the same experience, but they have proven record of coaching people, of speaking at the conferences, knowledge of 2 or 3 cloud platforms, knowledge of product management, leading agile teams. And which one would you choose? The just developer, or the other person who has vastly wider experience? Of course you will choose the second person, because he or she can provide way more value to the teams, to the organization you are working at. So knowing that, I'll ask you this question. What is your competitive advantage? Because market is becoming more and more competitive. As we said earlier, it's not anymore having a pulse and knowing programming language to get a job. Now you need to prove that you know the job and you can bring additional value. What it is, it's up to you how to find it. Ask yourself what of the adjacent topics to development you like the most. Be it communication, be it coaching, be it infrastructure, be it project management, product management. And choose one and start investing in your skills in this area. So next time someone asks you what you do, you can say that you're a developer, but you also love project management. And this will be your competitive advantage. And yes, it will require some more time from you to learn it, to get good at it. But what else can you do? You can do nothing and be one of the people who cannot find a job for months. Do you really want it? I don't think so. The second thing, which I would think is mandatory, is for you to learn AI. AI is something to stay. It's not great, it's not perfect, but it's bloody useful. So, again, as in the story of additional skills, AI is, I would say, another baseline skill, like Googling was before, which I would treat as must-have skill for developer. How to use GPT or BART or Copilot or all of them at once to achieve more in the same time. If you want to know how to learn the new skills very fast, check the video description where I've put link to my other video where I'm teaching you how to learn effectively. And in summary, just be careful. Don't rush things now in the next few years, as we are in the market which is more aligned with the rest of the world. The fairy tale of software engineering may be over. It may be over forever. One thing for you to know at the end, we cannot change the times. All we can change is ourselves. It was Darius from devconfident.com, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!